Sirens. Written by D. Kingsbury. Performed by Steve Gray. You know, they say this city, it never sleeps. She tapped the ashes off her cigarette and gazed up at the neon lights. But I'm just praying one day I'll wake up. I looked her over, watched her adjust the shoulder strap of her dirty tank top, watched her shift her weight to the other high heel. She couldn't have been older than 17. When she asked me for a cigarette outside the gas station, I had reluctantly obliged, but now she stood beside my car as I filled the tank. "Where you headed?" she asked softly. "Upstate," I lied. I closed the gas cap. "Gotta get going, though. You be safe now." "Can I bum a ride?" she asked. I hesitated, trying to think up the most polite way to reject her. "Just up the street, not far from here." Eyes wide. "Please?" Something about the desperation in her voice, the fear in her eyes, made it impossible to say no. 5 minutes later, I was driving down the highway, this young girl in the passenger seat. She stared out the window as the city lights flew by. Awkward silence. "Are you okay?" I asked. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw her glance my way. After a moment, she turned to face out the window again. "Yes," she said simply. "Okay then," I thought. It began to rain. The water that poured down the windshield looked like blood in the red glow of the nearby stoplight. The windshield wipers squeaked, and the girl stirred. "This is my turn," she said. "Take a right here." I did as I was told. The next thing I knew, I was driving down a dark street, over a railroad track, and past dark warehouses with broken windows. I began to worry a bit. "How much further?" I asked. "I need to get on my way." She replied, "It's right up there, see? See that light?" She pointed out the window. I didn't see any light, just more dark warehouses. The girl shifted in her seat and looked around out the windows. "We're almost there," she reassured me. "I promise." "I don't know about this," I said, getting frustrated and nervous. "I think I should take you back to the gas station." No, see? There it is," she stammered. She pointed again. This time she was right. Sure enough, there was a light in the distance. I began to feel a little less paranoid. We drew closer to the light. It was a neon sign, a large red inverted triangle, attached high on an otherwise dark warehouse, maybe some kind of nightclub. We pulled up beside the next building on our right. The girl mumbled a nearly inaudible, "Thanks," and then she slammed the door behind her. She ran in the rain to the front door of the warehouse. She knocked, the doors opened, and darkness swallowed her. A moment later, the red neon light flickered and went out, leaving the building indistinguishable from the others on the street. I breathed a sigh of relief. I figured my ordeal was over and that I could go home. All I had left to do was turn the car around and get back to the main road. I drove down the street a little further until I found an intersection of sorts, did a U-turn, and got the car straightened out. As I began to pull forward, my headlights fell on something further down the road, in front of the warehouse the girl had entered before. A mass of dark figures stood silently in the street. Dark, hooded figures were standing totally motionless in the rain. Then, slowly they began to move toward me. Terror rose like vomit in my throat. I quickly put my car in reverse and then turned around to go the opposite way, only to find another mass of robed figures blocking my way. I was surrounded. It was then that something smashed through my back window. That's when I first heard the chanting, a low grumble coming from all directions, getting louder by the second. I watched as the massive robed figures surrounded my car on all sides and recoiled when my passenger side window was shattered, spraying me with flecks of broken glass. The rest was a blur, as I saw the glint of metal and the glow of pupilless, white shining from beneath darkened hoods. I thought for a second that I recognized one hooded face, the girl from the gas station, only her eyes were blank white orbs. Then something smashed the headlights. Total darkness.
"We never sleep,"
the voices chanted.
"We never wake."
They repeated it over and over again.
"We never sleep. We never wake. We never sleep. We never wake."
I screamed as arms grabbed at me. Then they pulled me out of the car into the rain and dragged me along the ground. I kicked and struggled, but it was no use. No one would ever have heard me over the chanting.
"We never sleep. We never wake,"
they continued.
"We never sleep. We never wake."
I looked up into the sky, into the rain, which by then had drenched me, and out of the corner of my eye I saw the red neon triangle, looking like a pyramid in the sky as it flickered to life again, and the warehouse doors opened, and blackness swallowed me. "Hey, can I borrow a smoke?" I said to the traveler, leaning on a nearby gas pump. They reluctantly, though politely, handed me a cigarette from their pack. "You know," I said, "they say this city never sleeps. I'm just wishing I could wake up." The traveler strained a smile, nodded, and turned as if they were about to leave. They never do. "Can I bum a ride?" I asked. "It's right up the road, please." They stopped and looked me over. "It's not far at all," I said. "By the lights." They nodded. They always do.